Welcome, everyone, to episode 253 of the Craftverse series. And you might be wondering why we're starting this episode off in the base, after everything. Well, I did a little bit of remodeling in the basement, and I'd like your opinion on things. I'm very happy with it, but I did do this off camera, so let's see how you feel. This has not changed very much, and this week probably will not change very much, unfortunately. Same over here. There's a couple of things that have been moved, but not a great deal. Down here, however, you'll notice there's no more doors. This is just an archway now. I've also moved some of the items along this area. I have a ton of jack-o'-lanterns. You might notice my inventory is chock full of shulker boxes. That's because we're going to be going for a flight shortly. But I did move some things around. So now all my regular lights, including my torches, are in here in the front, easy to access. You'll also notice that everything else is lacking a door and is now an archway, and my plants have moved over to the corners. I have a skulk room, and this is just here because you usually find dripstone around ancient cities. And everything has its own place. Bunch of skulk. I don't know if I'll need to bring some of those with me, honestly. If there's a shulker box in there, it's probably full. Yeah, I've got a ton of items. So this took me like 3 hours to move everything, just because I had to figure out how I wanted it laid out and then move stuff. And I have a redstone room. This is permanently powered because I had a lever down there. I already have a thing of redstone lamps in my inventory, so I don't really need to grab them. This is going to be comparators down below, and then this one is the sticky pistons. I don't need them at the moment, but it's good to have easy access to all my redstone stuff in one location. And then over here I have my guardian room, where I tried to keep everything pretty much aligned. And since this one doesn't have a barrel underneath it, I just moved the Heart of the Sea underneath that. But heavy cores, there's not really anything to associate with that, unlike these, which have not only the prismarine shards, but also the variants of cut dark prismarine. And then, since sea lanterns are the only thing that have crystals in them, I went in and put the crystals underneath there. I also made these a full archway, 3-wide hallway, so it's a lot easier to move around. Gotta love that little notification popping up every single time. These are a lot easier to walk through. Now, I did leave the drip leaves, and I went ahead and grabbed some amethyst clusters because I need those for the build that I'm currently about to go work on. And I moved everything around here out a little bit. This particular corridor didn't really change much, but over here I moved the clay and a bunch of other little knickknacks over to this side because on here I have separated all the different log types that are overworld variants and stuck them in their own, so as I fill them up I will have a lot easier time storing them. So it's nice to know what all I actually have and what I need to grind for. And underneath I have the saplings, which is a nice little system I've got going on. So the sapling for spruce will be in the spruce barrel. And I'm also putting woods and other things that I have underneath there. Those are honestly mostly just for notification's sake while I was moving everything around of where things were supposed to be. This line right here doesn't really change, and this one has been significantly emptied, honestly, so I have some free agent spaces. But it's nice to have an open floor plan where you don't have to keep hearing clicking all the time. Also, when I come down here, I have moved the beacon and ender chest setups down here, because you wouldn't have any of those without the nether. because even if you kill an Enderman for the pearl, you still need a blaze rod, which you can only get in the Nether. So it's kind of fitting that I have this down here. And there's my smelting setup down here. So I don't have a whole lot of things to place in this corridor, but when I do place things, yeah, it'll lead all the way to these elevators, and then we'll be good. So I'm gradually expanding and filling in the storage. And of course, I have my little horse stable in here. I'm going to have to figure out a place to put that guy, because having him down here is probably not the best choice. Although, having him so close to the portal is kind of handy. As well, I have finally installed and lit this portal, which will connect fully to the one inside the Nether tower that I built a few weeks ago. So let's make sure that this works properly. Yep, connects me right in. And then going back shouldn't be any issues either. Should go back to the correct portal. It's far enough away in the overworld that it shouldn't connect to that one. They're on the same plane in the Nether, so it should be fine, and we are at the correct portal. Speaking of portals, I went ahead and went down this hallway a little bit and added in a new room. This is not going to be lit until I build the portal on the other side, just so things don't end up spawning and walking through. There is a little bit of empty space underneath that I don't want them to accidentally clip through and end up through the portal and cause problems. But this is where we're going to be building in the overworld. So, here we go. To head back over. You thought I was going to fly directly into that wall, didn't you? Well, joke's on you. So did I. So it's fine. We're going to go from here. Honestly, I probably could have gone from the Guardian farm, because that's a little closer. But what do you think about the changes I've made to the base? Making it a bit more open floor plan, open concept, storing things the way I have. What changes would you make? And not just to the block palette, obviously, but to where things are stored. Would you have put things in different arrangements or kept things a little more simple? I'm trying to store every item in the game to some degree. So, now before I go, I do want to go back to my main level here. Where is the food? Take a little bit of extra enchanted golden apple. 31 should be good. I've got more in my ender chest. Okay. Now we're going to go this direction, as I have several times already. Get a nice little view of everything as it sits, and then we're just going to head straight this way. It's a good flight out, but by the time we're finished, we'll be able to put a portal in there, and then just go back through. Well, I won't be able to go back through from the tower I'm about to build until after I come all the way back here and light it in the nether side. But we will be able to go back through, so we'll be fine. I do want to give you a little bit of a heads up that between episodes, I did a bunch of grinding, got a lot of smooth basalt done, and placed it where it's required for the drop chute, as well as the flooring. You might be wondering, what drop chute? Where are we going? Oh, just give me a moment and I will show you. If I don't pass it completely. Here we are. Hey, it didn't freeze up. Perfect. I need to get my bed. Where's my bed? Cyan bed. Clock is telling me that it is indeed nighttime. I don't want things to spawn. It's currently a very open area. But you'll see that there is a drop chute right here that goes all the way down to the ancient city. Now, let's say we have a little bit of fun. Nice. Perfectly safe drop. If we look up, we have an easy access point to see exactly where we need to go. And then we can fly straight up and end up outside. Now the problem is that I'm going to end up running into the roof if I'm not careful once I install the build. So it's going to be interesting once we get things going. But I need to get dark oak log. I'll do that in a minute. I needed to have that ready. Deep slate bricks. Chiseled deep slate. We'll put this one right here for now. Black wool. Polished deep slate. Those are going to be the main building blocks of this thing. And then over here, I'm going to have the various additionals that I need. Dark oak fence, that can go in the middle because it's also considered a main. Deep slate tiles, also a main. Sea lanterns, that's for the roof only. Polished tuff is a main. Trapdoors, that's the ending one. This is the roof. And that's also the roof. And then we have just my stuff. Because I don't need an empty shulker box at the moment, I'm just going to stick that over there. And we can put those inside that for now. Okay, so we are here. I have a little bit of the corner structure in play at the moment. I'm trying to have a little bit of dripstone cave, a little bit of geode, a little bit of the ancient city shown in the main level. So you know, this is roughly what we're dealing with. This is the tower that we have. And that's where that drop chute leads. Now, to be fair, I don't really know if there is a dripstone cave or a lush cave underneath here at any point. I do know there is a cave, and I almost blew up in there a few times putting in the structure. But, yeah, we don't talk about that. So let's go ahead and grab the pieces that I need. I don't need the shovel at the moment. So I'm actually going to put a bunch of things that I know I'm not going to need in here. Like, I'm not going to need these ender chests for a bit. I'll keep the bed on me. That, so probably not going to need that much of them. I don't need 2 of you. I will need the axe, but I'm not going to need the fortune pick. Yeah, that looks good. Tuck you away over here. And we'll tuck that into the corner so I have it readily available. And now I have a lot more space for items in order to build. And I hear pitter-patters. Where am I hearing that from? Don't jump off the edge, Seko. That's really stupid. Okay. We should be fine. Why am I doing this? I need to do that. And I'm actually going to move you over here. Because for right now, I'm not going to be using that. And then I'll grab one of you. And then I can just fill my inventory. Good. So I'll grab this whole row because I'm going to need those. Grab those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably all I'm going to need for you. And where did I put the skulk? It's not a lot, but it'll do. All right. So the general idea behind this structure. 1, 2. Is we're going to be doing this pattern. Why? Not like that. You. So you'll see if we come back down here, yes, land on the dripstone. You've got deep slate bricks, chiseled deep slate bricks, and then above that we're going to have the line that separates this level. Okay, that got all kinds of kerfuffled. What the heck just happened here? It's like my buttons don't want a button right now. It's weird. Okay, so now we're done with this. 1, 2. I have to go slow. I can't just speed through it because it's not going to want to do what I want it to do. Unless I do it this way, which is a bit faster. Okay, now we're back to the corner, which is part of the reason I decided to do it this way. Back here. I did want to showcase a little bit of the base changes prior to getting to this point, so I hope you guys like what I've done with the place. But this is going to be a new build altogether. You've seen me do tower builds before, so I am going to speed through some of the process, but once I get through these first couple of levels here so you see how things are going to be laid out, that's really where the sweet spot is. It's getting the internal layers the same. Okay, now we're good to just go ahead and bridge across. No, you go straight up. And then we turn and do the same thing. Doing it this way, we actually have the first layer pretty much in, and I can start getting some of the fences in place. Because I want to block mobs from getting in here while I'm building. Don't worry, it's not just going to be deep slate and dark oak. That's not all we're doing here. So in fact, I actually need to switch that out for the skulk and probably grab some more skulk, actually. Can I reach it? Yeah, for right now. That'll do, because this is the 5 high level, so it's going to be all the way across. This one's a lot easier to do, though, because there's no alternation. 3 in the middle. I love pick block. It's such a useful tool. I say this every time, but it really is. Okay, that took 2 stacks or so. That's not too bad. Now we do the 5 high. See, as long as you can double click, it saves the button that you're trying to hit. But my controller, if I'm just doing a 1 click and then switching, goes a little confused. Please try that again. I'm like, you should have got it right the first time. It's not that many clicks. No, that's fine. Just do it again. Because I'm actually using Joy-Cons at the moment, so it's a little bit hit or miss whether it's going to do its job. Alright, so now you see a little bit better of the pattern I've got going. And we're going up by 2. It's faster to just bring this all the way down and across. No. There we go. Gotta grab my bed. How safe is this, really? Sleeping under the stars with almost no light. Seems like I did fine. I thought I saw a skeleton down there. I guess I just saw a llama. Hey, llama, have you lost weight? You looked like a skeleton for a second there. I don't know, is that considered rude to the llama? I don't know the Minecraft llama social cues. Now, after every 5 high, you need to have 2 layers of the log of your choice, whichever one you went with. Just remember to keep the corners going in the same direction. I show you guys how I build it, and you can change the model however you decide for your version of the build. You don't have to follow it exactly. It's a nice tribute to the original if you do, but it's not required by any means. It's not like I'm gonna log into your world one day and be like, ha, you didn't follow the build. Now I'm gonna blow it up. Nah, that's not how that works. Okay, so now we have the next tier of, we need the wraparound. So I need to come down here and grab deep slate tiles. Before I can grab the tiles, I actually have to do a thing. So I have to find out where that thing is. Okay, first off, I can do this while I'm right here. Because these do sit where they're supposed to. Just to prevent things from easily walking in here. And to prevent snow from forming on the edges. I have one more turn here. And then we're also going to pop this one out right here on all sides, because that's going to ultimately lead into the walkway. Be an easier way for me to install it. Okay. So now those are back. Nope. There we go. Deep slate tiles. Okay, well that's good to know where those are. Oh. There we go. Found it. Okay, you are going to sit nicely right there. 5. I will turn 2 of you into stairs. We'll go with the wraparound first. You guys know how this goes by now, right? Okay, let's just break that. You. Okay, these two are pretty standard. Hope you're enjoying the skulk sensor sound effect. I went ahead and pre-installed those, so they're a bit chirpy. Click. Oh, an apple would have been nice to find. You know what? I don't really need it. I have golden and enchanted goldens. Keep those. These trees will eventually be removed because they're going to be blocking things. And I'm going to have a pathway that leads out this way, so this can't have an extension. This side, however, will. There's just not enough room on this slope for me to install something. So I have to break this tree. Tree be gone. As much as I love spruce, it's just in the way. I'm going to wrap this one around to this edge. So it really isn't a good way of doing it otherwise. Now this is cutting it a bit close, I'm aware. However, it needs to be done. Out of the snow. Okay, so that was the first level, and that's in. Now I can go ahead and grab these and prevent things from walking in on me. Skip any of them? No? Okay, good. Break the remaining leaves. This is good. Happy to see that. Let's go ahead and put you there. Just completely decimate the ability of things to get up here. That one's kind of a moot point, but it does lead out to over there, so it's just the way it's designed. It's fine. So we'll put you in there. I'm not using the dark oak because, you know, inside the ancient city, they have the gold pressure plates where you have the note blocks. That's kind of the idea behind that. Just going to go ahead and light up the outside just a bit. Of course, it's not going to fully light anything up, but it's going to help. Okay, I've got one side pretty much lit up. Drop you off. did I have it? It's the skulk, which I'll need more of. There we go. Do that. Get this layer in. I try to change these up so that I don't use the same materials more than once. There are a couple of materials like the dark oak fencing and trapdoors that end up echoing across a fair few versions. Not all versions, but a fair few of them. And now down here is lit up decently. The one thing I didn't bring with me was the ability to seal these off. So I guess for the moment, so I don't fall off, we just do that. Surprised I reached that. Not gonna complain though. Just so I don't fall off. These are just viewing platforms for the moment anyway. And so nothing can easily get on them. Okay, so this was right here. I'm actually going to keep those for the moment because I need to get some more of these made. Got 2. Okay, where did they go? Tiles. Enough. I've got 1, 2. Yeah, okay, so you away for now. Not you. Where was it? Just had it. There we go. Okay, now we are ready to fly up there, but I should probably sleep first. In theory, I shouldn't need to use my sword at all during this build. But that is the theory at the moment. Let's get a nice vantage point of this thing as it stands. Let's see if I can get a decent vantage point. Okay, here's a good side over here. Now, it is already starting to jut out, but it's not very visible at the moment. So once I get the next level in, and then the next few above that, you'll see a bit more of how well it's lit up. And then I'll start adding in the roofing as we go. But that is going to do it for today's episode. So I want to thank you all for watching, and hopefully you'll stick around for the next bit. I'm going to go ahead and get some of the next tier installed between episodes, so you don't have to watch the same thing 50,000 times, and you can see how things go. I'm going to go up the same amount of tiers as we usually do, with 4 walkable platforms, with the first one I just finished included as 1, so 3 above that, and then once we get to the roofing portion, we'll move on and continue with the recordings. So have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Well, tomorrow for me. Bye.